2023, and you're just in time for another edition of News Now. Well, you have so much lined up for you on our bulletin this afternoon. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media handles indicated at the bottom of your screen. Now, with that said, my name is Dennis Otieno. I trust you're doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, on to our top story this afternoon. Nairobi County Government has partnered with health professionals with the objective of providing free healthcare to Kenyans with sight and hearing problems. Now, according to the Nairobi County Department of Health, more than 33% of Nairobi residents have vision and hearing problems while facing the challenges of lack of quality healthcare due to poverty. They have also asked the government to partner with non-governmental organizations to reach out to more Kenyans with the aim of improving the health sector throughout the country.
Here in Nairobi with our partners LPA and the Charity Vision in campaign of Hear and See, and we hope to continue to help the people of Kenya.
As Charity Vision has been to do at least 2,000 surgeries in the year 2023. And for this initiative, we have been having a target of 300 surgeries.
So the county has supported us in ensuring that this happens by providing the personnel and hosting the events, also participating in the screening of the patients.
We will continue discussing with our governmental and non-governmental partners to better understand the needs on the ground and position ourselves in areas where support is needed.
Now, the safety of data for Kenyans who scanned their eyeballs to Wildcoin still remains unknown. This comes as the National Computer and Cybercrimes Coordination Committee told the Parliament Ad Hoc Committee that Wildcoin disguised themselves as a research project as they began registering Kenyan data. Take a look.
They are targeting developing countries, first of all, whereby they think that the minimum wage bill is below average and therefore a small token will actually be of good use to sell your data. The token, the currencies you're talking about, it is highly likely that they will not be able to convert that into physical cash. That is a deception measure to allow for people to come give out their information. Look at the mobile application, first of all. You sign up, give your mobile number, email address, thereafter have an iris scan. That iris scan is supposed to give you what they call the World ID. And looking at Wildcoin is just like any other technological giant company that is in the race for the artificial intelligence economy, which is data-driven. And whoever has the majority of the data will eventually be able to run and be a superpower. And therefore, the rush for this is to collect more data, among others. And if you had the main objective was to collect over 8 billion data of users, that was their target. That means the whole globe.
As President William Ruto's tour of the country's western region comes to the third day, controversy over the projects launched by the head of state took center stage, leading a section of local leaders to come out in defense of the projects. Now, the legislators, led by Sabatia Member of Parliament Clement Sloyer, have lashed out to the opposition allied leaders in the region who have been downplaying the president's visit in the area, saying that the projects being flagged off had already been launched during the previous regime. Now, the leaders have urged locals in Vihiga to put away their political differences ahead of the head of state's visit in Vihiga tomorrow and turn out in large numbers.
Sisi tunakaribisha rais. Sisi juzi tumemleta rais akafungua mradi wetu wa maji. Saa hii mpango ambao inaendelea ni kwamba watu waweze kusambaziwa hiyo maji kwa maboma yao. Kesho tunamleta pia hapa katika eneo bunge ndogo la Wodanga na Busali kwa pamoja, kwa sababu zinapakana mahali president atakuwa Mago. Tunataka atusaidie kuzindua rasmi ujenzi wa barabara ya Mago Mululu kwenda Lusui ambayo imekuwa ikitusumbua kwa muda mrefu sana. Barabara hiyo haijazinduliwa, na kama ilizinduliwa tuambiwe ilizinduliwa na nani. Hii barabara, ile kitu mimi najua ilikuwa earmarked for construction, lakini hatujakuwa tukipata ufadhili ambao unafaa kuhakikisha barabara hii inaendelea.
Mkutano sio ya ubabe ya kusema nani ndio nani, hapana. Kwa sababu tumekuwa tukionyesha picha mbaya hapo awali, na leo tumeamua tukutane, tuweke zile tofauti zetu kando na tukaribisha rais kwa sababu rais ni mgeni hapa kwetu. Tumekubaliana sisi wote ya kwamba tutajitokeza kwa wingi na tukaribisha rais katika eneo letu la Vihiga na eneo la Sabatia.
Nasema karibuni sana, mkuje mtuletee maendeleo. Tumefurahia kuona president wetu akitutembelea na tuko na furaha kumkaribisha ili tukaweze kupokea yale ambayo ametuletea.
Now, President William Ruto has today chaired his first cabinet meeting in Kakamega State Lodge. The meeting is part of Ruto's tour of the Western Kenya region, which entered the 4th day on Tuesday. After chairing the meeting, the president inspected a number of projects, including Emuhaya Hospital, before crossing over to Vihiga County for a groundbreaking ceremony of the affordable housing scheme in Vihiga constituency. Take a look.
Ama ni yote mbili. Ninaona ni yote mbili. Sio kama tunaelewana jameni. Tumekubaliana? Tutasaidiana jameni watu wa Vihiga. Tutashirikiana. Hebu ni wale wanasema tutashirikiana hiyo safari. Bas. Mambo ile ingine yote, mambo ya siasa si tumemaliza jameni. Si tulifanya uchaguzi mwaka uliopita. Si nyinyi mliamka mapema mkapiga kura ama mliamka mkichelewa? Si mliamka mapema mkapiga kura mkachagua Pawaso, mkachagua huyu ndugu yangu gavana, mkachagua MCAs, mkapiga kura ya rais mkamaliza? Ama kuna yenye mlibakisha? Kuna kura mlibakisha mnataka kufanya kesho? Si iliisha? Sasa hao watu wawache kutusumbua sisi na maandamano. Wawache kutusumbua ati sava kitu gani? Uchaguzi iliisha last year. Na niliwapatia warning hawa watu mapema. Hawakusikia. Si niliwapatia ilani? Niliwaambia nitawanyorosha asubuhi na mapema. Hawakusikia. Sasa hiyo wanazunguka wanasema sava sijui sava nini. Anyway, wawache kusumbua sisi. Mambo ya uchaguzi iliisha jameni. Ama ni aje watu wa Rwanda? Si uchaguzi iliisha? Si Pawaso ndio huyu mlimchagua? Si gavana ndio huyu mlimchagua? Si MCA ako area mlimchagua? Si rais amewatembelea leo mlimchagua? Sasa watu hawache mchezo. Ama namna gani bwana? Sasa mimi nataka niwaulize, iko faida gani watu kupanga maandamano, mali ya wananchi inaharibika, maisha ya vijana inapotea, wanachoma barabara, wanachoma mali ya umma, wanatuletea hasara, wanaweka chuki kwa Wakenya, wanatuletea hasara na watalii, wanatuletea hasara na waegezaji. Mimi nataka niwaambie our friends, please, violence has no place. Violence has no currency in the politics of the Republic of Kenya. We are a democratic nation. We are a nation that believes in the rule of law. We are a nation that is democratic. Sisi wote, and we are a peaceful nation. Tunakubaliana jameni? Hatutaki vita, hatutaki fujo, hatutaki kuharibu mali ya wananchi ama kuharibu mali ya umma ama kulete fujo kuharibu nchi yetu. Sisi ni watu wa amani, sisi ni watu wa demokrasia. Uchaguzi inaamuliwa na wananchi, haiamuliwi na vita. Ama namna gani jameni? Tumekubaliana? Mnasema tuendelee na amani? Hawa watu wa fujo tuwakomeshe? Na nimewaambia nitawakalia ngumu. These people, hakuna maneno ya kuleta maandamano hapo. Ati kuja kuharibu mali ya wananchi? Bana. Hapana, nimekataa hiyo story. Ama namna gani? Tumekubaliana? Tumekubaliana? Wale wanasema tumekubaliana nione kwa mkono kabisa. So otherwise wacha mnumuite governor wetu. Kabla ya governor, niko na Rigiji area. Huyo mungwana anaitwa Yawasalimie. Emuhaya mjambo. Mirembe swa. Mirembe te. Mirembe mia. Asante sana, tumeshukuru hapa kufika. Mumeona rais wetu William Ruto? Ndio huyu? Naona kama si yeye. Ako wapi? Asanteni sana, tumefika hapa kwa mambo ya maendeleo.
Right, you see, it is the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is currently addressing the public in Emuhaya constituency in the Western region. Of course, you've seen President William Ruto, of course, addressing the public, stating that the Kenya Kwanza government is not going to tolerate mass protests called by the Azimio la Umoja coalition. Our reporters are following closely on that story. They will be bringing us up to speed on the story as it develops further in our subsequent bulletins. But moving on. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has called for the diversification of the Western region economic activities away from the traditional mainstays like cane farming in order to adapt to adverse weather changes. Speaking during the inspection tour of Nzoia Sugar Factory in Bungoma County, Mudavadi emphasized the need for having different agricultural projects that would earn the residents' income in times of calamities. Nzoia Sugar Factory is one of the state-owned millers whose revival has not borne any fruits over the years. On his part, the president warned that it will not be business as usual to keep bailing out non-profitable companies at the expense of the taxpayers.
Mimi nimekaa hapa nasikiza hotuba ya rais. Amezungumzia miwa. Amezungumzia maziwa. Amezungumzia aggregation value addition parks kwa sababu kuna mazao mengine. Kwa akili yangu ndogo, mimi naona rais anasema tuangalie miwa sawa sawa, lakini pia tufanye kile wanasema diversification. Kwa kifupi, tusiweke mayai yetu yote ya uchumi kwa kikapu kimoja. Tunaelewana? Rigiji yuko hapa, wamepambana na kahawa, wanapambana na majani chai, lakini pia kwa taifa ama Mlima Kenya wameingia kwa mambo ya kuangalia avocado, wameingia kwa mambo ya mpunga, mchele. Yani wameenda hatua ya kufanya diversification. Kama mvua ikiharibu miwa, utapata riziki kwa hiyo ingine. Kwa hivyo tujipange kama watu wa eneo hii, ili wakati tunatatua shida za miwa, lakini pia tufungue fikira zetu, tujue kwamba ni lazima pia tuanze kuangalia mimea zingine, so that on a rainy day, when things are bad in a certain sector, we also have an alternative on which we can rely on.
Elsewhere, Kirinyaga County Assembly Women Caucus has called on the police to fast-track investigations and arrest those behind the attack on Women Representative Njeri Maina. Speaking in Kirinyaga County Assembly, the women MCAs have said the attack on women is backwardness and should not be witnessed again in the county, adding that leaders should respect each other despite the various levels of political class. The women leadership of Kirinyaga County have also said that a petition will be presented to tighten security for the leaders so that they can execute their various roles well.
Tumesimama hapa kukemea kitendo kilichomtendea watu wenye walimtendea Honlambo Njeri, wenye walimuumiza, na ikemea hiyo kitendo, na ninasema wenye wanaendeleza uchunguzi wafanye haraka ndio tujue wenye waliomtendea hiyo kitendo.
I want to state categorically that Kirinyaga is a peaceful county. We have not been experiencing that even during our campaigns time. People have always been calm, and even now we want to continue with the same spirit of maintaining peace and maintaining security as we handle the matters development of this county. I want to say that the matter is in court. The matter not in court. There are people who are mandated to do such investigation. And when the moment we get a detailed report from the relevant authorities, we are going also to discuss it as the county assembly and ensure that women have total security, women have good environment, so that we can have women or even the leaders as a whole.
Now, residents of Kitengela have benefited from a free medical camp which was conducted at St. Teresa Dispensary in an effort to bridge disease burden among struggling families. The free medical camp, courtesy of Rotarian well-wishers drawn from Kitengela, Athi River and Syokimau, aimed at sensitizing locals on the importance of embracing vaccines and cancer screening. Parents were encouraged to ensure their children adhere to the recommended vaccines schedule, including polio vaccine. Eye clinic checkup and H. pylori checks had the highest number of sufferers in the exercise, all of whom received treatment.
Here we brought up different specialists from different medical fields to help the residents of Kitengela in bringing out the disease burden in the community. We have realized that the medical camp has attracted a lot of attention from the locals, and noteworthy is that the fact that we are not charging, people are more confident and are encouraged to come and attend the medical camp. The medical camp covers all diseases that could be burdening the population, and we have specialists who look at the sick people and recommend if there is need for referral to a bigger hospital like the level 5 hospital.
Right. So what we are urging the members of the public is to be able to go to the nearest health facility with qualified professionals near you and get assistance very early instead of waiting till the conditions are very severe.
Mara mbili upande wa macho, nilikuwa pia nahitaji dawa zingine za pressure, pia nazo nimepata. I'm so grateful by this service. Nimefurahia St. Teresa, nimekuwa muda tangu mwezi wa pili nimekuwa nikija, lakini sijapata huduma kama hii. Leo imekuwa wonderful, nice, and I appreciate it.
Elsewhere, parents in Malindi sub-county in Kilifi County have lamented over increased high school fees and are urging the government to intervene. This is after some students who reported to various schools on Monday were turned back over school fees arrears. Led by Mr. Hanid Mole from Mrafa area. The parents also want head teachers not to send the children back home, decrying harsh economic times that have made them not be able to raise school fees on time. The Malindi MP's office has also advised head teachers against sending students back home, saying that the NGCDF office will start disbursing bursaries to schools from next week.
Changamoto ya school fees kwangu mimi ni kubwa sana. Niko na watoto wawili wako secondary, moja yuko form 4 na kuna mwingine wa university ni aende huu mwezi wa 9, na kuna msichana alikuwa ni ajiunge na Kiriri University Nairobi 16th of August, lakini hajaenda kwa sababu ya pesa. Yule firstborn wangu hajapata kibarua na hata leo amekuwa kule Marafa kwa ajili ya recruitment ya KDF, lakini naambiwa kwamba ametolewa.
Mashule zimefunguliwa na already nishapata wanafunzi hapa pamoja na wazazi takriban 50 wakidaisha kwamba watoto wao walienda kuripoti jana na wakaregeshwa. Leo ndio wakaja wazazi wengine pia, nikazungumza na wao, nikawaelekeza kwamba warudishe watoto shule, waende kama wazazi pia waende wakaongee na walimu ili wale watoto waweze kubaki shuleni, na especially wengi ambao wanarudishwa ni wale form 4s ambao wanaenda kumaliza minikozi yao ya kidato cha 4. But sisi kama ofisi ya mbunge hapa pamoja na ofisi ya CDF ambapo tunatayarisha zile checks za bursaries ambazo zitafanya wale watoto kidogo waweze kupata malipo kidogo.
Hundreds of youth in Garissa Tuesday morning turned for the Kenyan Defence Forces recruitment exercise held at the Garissa Primary School playgrounds. Only 5 girls stand up for the recruitment compared to their male counterparts. Addressing the press, Senior Recruitment Officer in charge of Garissa, Lieutenant James Okumu, said that the turnout was impressive, but most of the candidates did not meet the minimum education qualifications, whereas others were eliminated on medical grounds. Elsewhere in Lamu, more than 800 youth from Lamu West constituency showed up earlier today for the KDF recruitment exercise at the Muungano grounds, Mpeketoni. According to the recruitment officer in charge of the recruitment exercise, Lieutenant Colonel Hamis Msaha, the ongoing exercise is going on as planned.
Leo asubuhi kujaribu hii exercise ya KDF, lakini wakati nilifika hapo wakaniambia ati weight yangu ni kidogo, nilikuwa na weight ya 54.1, wakasema ati weight haifiki. Nilikuwa nimejiandaa vizuri. Ni hivyo, na hii recruitment nyingine ambayo itakuja na jaribu inshallah. Exercise ya recruitment naona iko fair, unatolewaje juu ya weight na height. Hiyo kitu waangalia sana.
The recruitment is going on very well today. The turnout was good. People of Garissa came in large numbers to seek for employment, and the KDF is very ready to employ those who will qualify. Most of the issues that have been observed by the doctors include medical issues. Most of the Garissa citizens had issues to do with dentals, skin problems, which the doctor tried to use as a matter to eliminate. Another issue that we've observed is majority of the Garissa people have not met the required qualifications. Some have not picked their certificates. Others don't meet the minimum requirement. But to encourage the people to go to school, learn, and also.
Now, the Law Society of Kenya, Amnesty International, Kenya Human Rights Commission and HIVI Africa have denounced the remarks that President William Ruto made while issuing a warning to all those who have filed cases in court over the ownership and control of Mumias Sugar Company to withdraw the said cases. The strong warning that came against the backdrop of the reported abduction and subsequent release of Jaswant Singh Rai, one of the parties involved in court disputes over the sugar company. Now, the human rights organizations have challenged the president to issue an apology over his remarks. However, LSK President Eric Theuri insisted that the Law Society of Kenya will stand with the lawyers in the case and urged them to ensure proper channels are followed in the case. They argued that Ruto should let the court take its course and refrain from making roadside statements implicating individuals in criminal activities.
We are concerned that those statements on their own constitute a grave threat to the rule of law. They portray a country that is no longer being governed by the rule of law and the Constitution, and remind us of the very, very complaints that the President now, then as a Deputy President, used to complain about. And we are also seeing a return of extrajudicial methods.
The President's remarks to persons to flee or be deported or be detained, if they were spoken by any citizen, would be unlawful. That they are spoken by the head of a state in charge and a commander-in-chief makes it even more worrying. His remarks come a day or two before the International Day of the Disappeared. This is an internationally recognized day by the United Nations that says that no human being must be denied their right to a fair trial.
And as human rights organizations, as the Law Society of Kenya, we owe it to Kenyans to stand firm. And we owe it to the state to remind them that they have a duty to safeguard lives in this country. And we cannot allow such things to happen.
Now it's time to take the fields and shift focus to the sports news, where Kenya Boxing Federation President Ruben Dolo has called upon the Ministry of Sports to support the sport. Speaking during a training session in Nairobi, Ndolo expressed his disappointment over what he terms as the neglect of boxing, affecting the performance of talented boxers in the country. Take a look.
Watoto kama hawa. Kwa hiyo ndio maana unaona sisi hatuachani. Lakini inatutia uchungu sana. Wewe unaona mpaka saizi mimi nakuja kufanya mazoezi na watoto wetu. Sio kwamba eti na nini, kwa sababu nakuja hapa hawana pesa ya kwenda gym. Ndio maana mimi nashukuru sana mazoezi mtaani na nyinyi wenyewe. Eti sio kwamba sisi tunapenda eti kufanya tumeachwa. Na watu wanasema tu mambo ya sports. Wanasema tu na wenye sports wenyewe hawako. Wakileta watu ambao wataangalia sports wanachukua tu mtu kutoka kokote ambaye hajui hata maana sports ni nini. Kwa hiyo sisi tunaomba kitu cha kwanza, wale watoto wetu kama bila